So we have this concept of just in case, meaning let's say you're going on vacation, you're packing for vacation, right? And you say, oh, I'm gonna bring this nice outfit just in case we go to dinner. Or I'm gonna bring these heels just in case we go to dinner. Or maybe I'm gonna bring this bathing suit just in case there's a swimming pool. Maybe you already did your research and you know the hotel doesn't have a swimming pool, but you're like, I don't know, just in case, let me be prepared. If that's you, then this is going to be a super helpful video because we're gonna talk about those different ways that just in case might hinder your life and how you could progress even further to basically remove that mindset and start thinking about things in a more minimalistic mindset. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. So we already talked about the concept of vacation and packing too much, but there's also so many other different ways that just in case could come into play in your life. Even something just as simple as leaving tabs open up on your computer or keeping apps on your phone just in case you might need them one day. For example, my fiance, he downloaded some sports app on my phone and I was like, oh, let me just keep it on my phone just in case he needs it one day. But realistically, he never uses it. He uses his phone and maybe once in a while he's gonna use mine, but he could just realistically just go and download that app again. On top of that, we even have this concept of just in case items in our home. Maybe you have a blender or something that you never use, but you're like, oh, just in case I make a smoothie one day, I'm gonna keep that blender. Rather than just getting rid of those items and living in a more clean space to clear your mind, to clear your attitude, and just feel more decluttered in general. Getting rid of those items are going to be super important. So how do you even start by getting rid of those apps, getting rid of those items, getting rid of anything? So what we really need to do is put that fine line between a when item and a just in case item. So for example, that blender that I talked about, I'm never going to use that blender maybe because maybe I don't make smoothies or maybe I don't need a blender for any reason. So that would be a just in case item because there's no reason that maybe I'm going to use that. Let's say I have some fine china in a cabinet. You could think about that as either a just in case someone comes over or a when someone comes over, I'm going to use that fine china. If you have people come over here and there, maybe even if it's twice a year, but it's when they come over you like to take out that china, then it's not a just in case item anymore. So you really got to start priming your mind and thinking okay, when you pick up an item, is this a just in case? Am I never going to use this realistically? Or is there an instance where I would absolutely love to have this and it actually does occur in my life? So you really got to make that fine line. Obviously, you're the only person that can make that line and decide if it's a when or a just in case item, but making that fine line is really going to be helpful. What you can do to help you make that fine line is something that's called the 20-20 rule in minimalism. And the 20-20 rule is if you can get something back in 20 minutes, then get rid of it. As well as if you can only spend $20 or less on it, then get rid of it. So there is our 20-20 rule, 20 minutes or less and $20 or less. So for example, if you have some item in your house that you think that you're not going to use, get rid of it if it's under those two thresholds. Now you could kind of throw in another 20 rule there, and with the tabs and apps that I was talking about there, if you could get those in less than 20 seconds back, then you could also get rid of those. But basically just keep this mindset that if you could get something back quickly and not put a lot of effort in to get that item, nowadays we can order things online, we could do things like that, so it's not going to take a lot of effort to get it back. Let's think about this. All right, if we get rid of all these things, what is the worst case scenario? What happens if we get rid of it and we're like, darn, I really, really wish that I had that item that I got rid of? Well, the worst case scenario is fine. If you followed that 20-20 rule, then you might have to spend 20 minutes or less to go out of your way and get it. You also might have to spend $20 or less to go ahead and replace it. But someone else has gained value from that item for all of those months, years, or whatever that you gave that item to them. I highly encourage to repurpose and reuse things. If you're trying to get rid of items, even using, there's some Facebook groups called Free Cycle where you could give things away and kind of exchange things. I highly, highly suggest that. But regardless, I really, really suggest that you give things away because then other people are going to utilize this. You're going to put a smile on their face. Essentially what one man's treasure is another man's garbage. So get rid of your garbage, but give it to someone else that is going to treasure that and actually use that blender or actually use whatever item you decide to give away. So with that, just start priming your mind of thinking that, okay, is this a what if, or is this a when? Or can I get it back in 20 minutes or less, as well as can I spend $20 or less on it? And on top of that is, what is the worst case scenario? Someone else enjoys it and I maybe have to go out and buy a new one way down the line. Not too bad of a scenario. So with that, I hope this helped you guys kind of start priming your mindset for that. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure that you guys subscribe down below. All right, thanks guys, see you next time. Bye.